Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, this daytime. I'm not sure where you guys are at. I am in New York City. Thank you, Joseph, for that sweet, sweet introduction. I am Blushington, a Blushington makeup artist. I hail from out of the New York salon. I was with Blushington from since 2015. So I'm definitely an oldie but a goodie. And I am super excited to be able to come to you this evening virtually and talk a little bit about skincare and a makeup, our fall makeup look, or a fall makeup look that I have been very interested and passionate in currently. Again, if you guys have any questions, definitely leave it in the chat box, excuse me. And at the end, we will do a good Q&A with you guys. If you guys have products and want to follow along, awesome. If you guys are just going to look on and see and listen to what it is that I'm using and how I'm using it, dope. Like Joseph said, we have curated a Blushington bag for you guys. So anything that you might like or might be interested in will be automatically in the chat. You guys can just click the link and then it'll bring you straight to my shop where you can shop for any of the products that I love and hopefully you will love too. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm just going to change my view a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have a neck and décolleté mask. I've had it on actually for a better half of the hour. This neck and décolleté mask comes from 111 Skincare. That's a skincare inspired line from a surgical dermatologist. Who is super passionate about what we are passionate about, which is staying young forever, which is tightening up the skin, which is sharpening up different places in the skin and tightening up. And this is a way for you to have some at-home treatment that isn't so expensive, but that will yield some really dope results. I had that particular mask on for a good 45 minutes. Anytime you do a mask, you have to be consistent in order for you to see your results. That one in particular, I am in particular just concerned about my décolleté staying young and crisp and bright and shining for as long as I can have it. And definitely check that mask out. So what I've decided today to do with you guys is my quick get ready, basically, with me for this fall season. A concern of mine is always when the season changes, my skin changes, my nail beds change, and I become a little bit flaky, a little bit dry, a little bit coarse. And then I'm always like, okay, I didn't even realize that the seasons was changing and that it was now time for me to change up my skincare routine. Super important for staying young and fabulous and cute is to make sure your skin is hydrated. Not to just make sure that it's hydrated, but that it looks flawless and glowing and cute and supple and soft. And the way that we do that is with our skincare. I'm also going to go over a quick makeup look with you guys that is a natural look that will enhance your skin. Everything is about the enhancement of what the skin looks like. So I did decide that I was going to wash my face on camera. So I have today's wear. I have a little bit of shine on my skin for the day. And so I'm just going to get right into it if you guys don't mind. Okay, so the brands that I'm going to be using, One Love Organics, love One Love Organic. One Love Organic is a cruelty-free brand, an organic brand, a veggie-friendly brand that is kind of a rock star for Blushington. One of my favorites, the smell is fabulous, not heavily fragrant, just very clean smelling. So I have the 3 of these products. What they do that's really, really amazing is they label their products from A to B to C to Z to let you know what order in which you can use your product. So what I like to start out with, because I wear makeup, and it's super important if you're someone who wears makeup to make sure your pores are very much clean, to make sure your skin is very much clean, to make sure you are going to bed with clean skin. Me, myself, I like for my skin to be a little bit squeaky clean. Now, I don't like to over dry, but I do like that squeaky clean kind of feeling. What I love about One Love Organics is that it gives me that squeaky clean feeling, but I can tell that it's not tight or over dry or depleted, if you will. I will say this, the best way to keep your skin hydrated is starting from the inside out. And I would say to you guys, definitely drink plenty of water. If you're not a water drinker, become a water drinker. I mean, non-flavored water, I mean, clean, clear water. I think that it's your best defense when it comes to staying younger longer. With that being said, let's talk about topical. Now, what I'm gonna start with, my favorite is B. Actually, I'm gonna start with B. So B is an enzyme cleansing oil. With botanical vitamin B complex. Vitamin B complex just means it's super invigorating for the skin. It replenishes the skin with a B complex that helps the skin be brighter and tighter. It helps to fight free radical damage and those types of things. Now, because it's an enzyme cleansing oil, you get the full benefits of a cleansing oil that's not oily. So the oil is grape seed extract and grape seed oil and not olive oil, I'm sorry, grape seed oil and alpha lipoic acid. And what happens is that once you hit it with some water, it turns into a milky cleanser. So it's like you get the best of both worlds. I'm just gonna get into it with my hands. I like this cleanser because, again, I wear makeup. And I think the best way to take your makeup off is with some oil or something that is hydrating and smoothing. I think this is the way that you can get your mascara off and out of the crevices of the lashes without hurting or disturbing the lashes. This is the way to get your brow makeup out of your brows without hurting the hair of the brow and disturbing your face in a way that is irritating. This is a way for you to be gentle and for you to really get into the crevices of the skin. And as you're massaging your skin, you're also hydrating your skin. You're also working the product into your skin. So I like to do that. And once I'm done, and I'm fully immersed, then I like to get a little bit of water, and I have a washcloth here, but I'm not gonna use my washcloth. I'm just gonna dampen my washcloth and dampen my hands a bit, just so that I can go over the enzyme oil with a little bit of water, just so that you get that milky change. And as you can see, a natural oil, if you cleanse yourself with a natural oil, something that's oily, you'll go onto your skin with water and it will not budge the oil. It won't move it. It's almost like oil and water just do not mix. But this turns into a milk cleanser. So as soon as you hit it with some water, it just changes the way this cleanser works and operates. And now you have a fully realized cleanser, not an oil. And I like that. Some people don't like oil in their skin. They're afraid it's going to clog their pores. This does not. But even if you are someone who's afraid that this is going to clog your pores and you're like, oh no, I definitely don't like an oil, hit it with some water, some milk. changes. The attributes of the product completely changes. And then after that's done, I'll pat it just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I go into my second part, cleanser. Now I don't know if you're wondering, do I really do this? I'm literally going through my routine when I'm in the shower or when I'm washing my face. Literally, I do both because I wear makeup. If I didn't wear makeup and my skin was naturally cleansed all the time, however, I was dry, I would do the oil enzyme cleanser with the B complex. If I'm not dry and I may be combination to oily, instead of doing both, I would just do A, the facial cleanser. Now this cleanser, this powerful cleanser, has AHA and BHA and infused in the cleanser. That just means that it not only fights free radical damage, but it also brightens, tightens, and lightens the skin. So that means your skin is in a constant state of cell renewal. When your skin is in a constant state of cell renewal, it's always smooth, it's always bright, it's always shining, and that's what you want. So I go ahead after my oil cleanser because, again, I like that squeaky feel. And I go in, and it smells amazing, you guys. It smells amazing. And it's not like a fragrant kind of smell. It's just a very clean and crisp type of smell. It smells so good. And again, I use my hands. Sometimes I use my congee sponge. I have a congee sponge here. One Love Organics makes one. And then if I have my cute little heart, everything cute, right? So if I use my congee sponge, I would just go into, and this helps to give you a little bit of exfoliation. And I just squeeze through that, wet it a little bit, squeeze through that, and I just use it in an exfoliating kind of way, making sure that I get into the crevices of my skin. And I really take some time with this. I don't try to rush it unless I'm in a rush. If I'm in a rush, I can do this in maybe about a good 3 minutes tops. But I try to sometimes take my time when I can, because you want to really exfoliate and get into the skin's layer, top side layer. The thing is as you're working and going about your day, you're coming in contact with smog, with pollution, with people, COVID times. I can't stress enough to people how if you're washing your hands, you definitely should be washing your face, because you're just going to introduce all of the day to your pillow. And if you're introducing the day to your pillow, you're wallowing and sleeping in that day. And it's just not going to bode well for your skin. Something to think about. So after I've immersed myself and I've just rinsed out my sponge, I'm just going to go in and rinse out my washcloth. Just gonna dab. I like to dab instead of swiping. I think when you dab, it keeps things firmer. All my years in cosmetic retail and salon, dab. Be gentle to your skin. Don't pull it. Now that we're done with that. And sometimes when I do this, depending on what my skin's going through, I will literally feel like everything looks brighter and shining and just crisper and brighter and a little bit, not shiny, but glowy, if that makes sense. So I like to let that dry just a little bit, and then I go into my Moisture Mist toner. Now, if you guys don't know what a toner does, what the toner does is creates a natural, not creates, but brings your skin back to its natural pH level. Sometimes when you wash and clean your skin off, your pH balance can be off. It can go a little bit more acidic or a little bit more alkaline. You want that healthy medium. So after you wash your skin, maybe it's tight, maybe it's stripped. This just brings that natural replenishment back to order. This in particular is a moisture mist with botanical vitamin D, and they get the vitamin D from shiitake mushrooms, so it's all vegetarian. So what this does is it's 1 part toner, helping to balance the skin, and then 1 part moisturizer, so then you're getting that moisture at the same time. A lot of toners, if you guys read the label, second ingredients, alcohol. Alcohol is probably the worst thing that you could put on your face. Let me just say this. So if you do not want wrinkles, you do not create cracks. The way to not create cracks is to make sure your skin is always replenished and soft and hydrated and moisturized. So going in with my moisture mist from One Love Organics. I like to torrentially downpour. And again, smells very earthy, smells very clean, smells very vegetable-ish, but in the best way. And I kind of let that kind of marinate a little bit. So what I just did was I cleansed and I toned. So in your regimen, if you're someone who's saying, I need a skincare regimen, and you're like, well, where do I start? Always remember the process is cleanse, tone, treat, protect. So cleanse, you clean your skin, you treat your skin, cleanse, tone, you clean your skin, you tone your skin, that's with the pH, you treat your skin. Treating is a matter of what your skincare concerns are. My skincare concerns range from, I have large pores that I want to make sure they're small and cleared out, to I'm concerned about anti-aging. I want my skin to look supple and fresh. I don't want wrinkles, and I want to stay tight and firm. So those are your concerns. So in the order, cleanse and tone, then you treat. You treat with whatever your concerns are. So my concerns are anti-aging and refined pores. So here we go, spotlighting Beautyrx. I know you guys can't see it so well because my light is very bright at times, I'm noticing. Beautyrx is our favorite brand, favorite Blushington brand. Blushington has a long relationship with Dr. Neil Schultz, who is the creator and founder of Beautyrx. He's a dermatologist. He is phenomenal and is famous for finding skin melanomas at their smallest percentages. We just love this brand, and this product in particular is our 2-step progressive peel. When we were at the salon, we were able to give a service called a peel service. We had a peel bar, and it was a 40% glycolic that was so strong, but yet so gentle that we could leave it on our client's skin for 2 minutes, and the differences in the skin was uncanny. We would use less makeup product. That's actually the reason why we started providing this service. But what it does is this product in particular keeps the skin regenerating skin cells. So like I said earlier, your skin is its optimal and its brightest and best when the skin cells are new, when the skin cells turn over. Your skin cell turnover rate is 28 to 30 days. So this product, what it does is keeps the skin at a constant rate of cell turnover. So that means your skin is brighter and younger and more youthful longer throughout the month. It keeps your skin at a constant state of cell turnover. This product in particular that I'm using are the 10% pads. So you can't use 40% at home. That's only for dermatologists and licensed estheticians. But you can have this take-home kit, which is an 8% glycolic and a 10% glycolic. The pads are 8%, and then there's a drop, 2-part drop series that comes in that kit that's 8%. So you would start your skin off with the 8%, and then you would graduate to the 10%. You guys would totally love this if you stay faithful to any of your skincare products. I'll say for a month, give it a month, and you'll look at your skin and you'll say, oh my God, I'm hooked, and I gotta keep getting that product. A lot of people will say, oh my God, Keyerra, your skin is so nice. You have to stay faithful to your skincare products. I got hooked up like a fiend. I got hooked on skincare products maybe in the early 2010, 2000. And the selling feature was, do you want to stay young longer? Yeah, I do. So what do I need? I need a serum? Check. Let me get the serum. What else do I need? SPF moisturizer? Check. Let me get that as well. So the last part of this skincare routine consists of my youth serum, Back to One Love Organics. Now you might say, do I really do this on my own? Yes, I do. This is legit my skincare routine, every day, every night. In the daytime, I'm gonna do this. This is a rollerball. This is E, the letter E. So if you remember, guys, we went through A, although I did B first. We did B, that was the cleansing oil, excuse me. Then I did A, that's the botanical cleanser. And then I balanced my pH. Also, guys, this works as a setting spray for your makeup at the end. You can walk in, keep this in your bag, and rehydrate your skin daily throughout the day. It's small. This is a 2-ounce travel size, and you can just spritz whenever you get a chance. So again, we did A, B, and then we jumped to D. This is E. So this comes in the youth serum. Comes in a rollerball. I like it because the rollerball is always cool. And anytime you use a rollerball on your skin, that massaging technique helps to drain the lymphatic system, actually. Any type of massage you get helps to drain the lymphatic system. A lot of times, depending on the bone structure of the eye, you'll get a bit of darkness, dark circles, and it's just a matter of your orbital bone and how the blood pools in that particular area. So massaging that helps to move around the circulation so that your skin is draining as it should be. Uh-oh, lost my earring. So I like to take that up through the neck. I like to press in up. And because this is more of an oil-based serum, in the daytime, I'll use this as my moisturizer. Nighttime, I'll kind of go on top with another moisturizer, just because your skin, your body actually recuperates while you sleep. So whatever medicines that you're taking, whatever skincare regimen that you have will work overtime if you do it at night while you rest. Okay, so that is that. So I let that sit, and then what I'll do is, well, I'll like continue to get ready, and then I will go in with my primer. Today we're going to be using the Supergoop primer, the Unveil. It has an SPF in it, and that's where I'm going to get my SPF for the daytime. Sometimes People won't want to use an SPF in the daytime, especially when they go through their whole skincare regimen, because they're feeling like, okay, that might be a little bit of an overkill on moisture. This Unveil is a primer, and it is a dimethicone-based primer. So what that means is that it's so lightweight. What it's going to do is going to help to fill in fine lines and pores and wrinkles without clogging the pore. So I really like this particular product. What I'm gonna do though, since I'm working a little bit faster than I would normally, like piling on products, I'm just gonna dampen up my skin a little bit before I go on top, just to give myself a little bit of cool down. That actually will help to cool down a little bit. Give myself just a little pump of my Unveil. And what I like to do is I like to press it into the folds of my smile lines, and then the chin, and then the forehead. The purpose of your primer is to keep your makeup on for a long part of the day, and also to smooth the skin. If you have very dry skin, your primer might be to hydrate, to help hydrate, so that when you go on with your foundation, it's a smoother finish, a softer finish. So as we put the primer on, I like to move on, give that a little bit of a chance to set and dry. In the meantime, my next step is concealer. Now, again, I'm going to say, guys, this is my routine. This is what I've been doing for the fall. I put my concealer on, and then I start with my brows. We're not going to be concentrating so much on eye makeup today, because the point is for the skin to be refreshed, for the skin to be smooth and supple and soft, and for that skin to shine through. So that's the focus, that's what we're focusing on today. And that's been my focus when it comes to my skin and my going out on the town routine. So I go directly into my concealer. This concealer is by Jouer. This color, my color complexion is coffee, if that's a jumping off point for you, if you're choosing what your shade might be. This concealer, phenomenal. So if you guys are familiar with Shape Tape from Tarte, which was a huge deal when it came out, everybody was doing tutorials where they were like carving out and painting on their masks, and then blending it in for that really vibrant, highlighted and contoured look. This is way better, way more hydrating, way more movable capability, way more natural looking on the skin. I find that Shape Tape kind of cracks up a little bit. And who wants cracking under their eye? Like, I do not want cracking under my eye. So this is super dope in that regard. This is called Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer, Creaseless. Creaseless. If you guys are smiling and laughing and nice, sweet, happy people, your eyes crease. My eyes crease. So this is the best type of concealer, in my opinion, something that's not going to crease. And I find that this doesn't. So what I do, put a little bit of a generous amount under my eye, and then I kind of go about my business and let that dry down on its own. So as I let that dry down on its own for a short while, I go into something else. I'm going into brows while we're letting that dry and set. So the reason why I let that dry on its own is because your cream will set itself, especially if it's a cream that says something like it's creaseless, something that says something like, oh, it won't settle in the pores, it's smoothing. These things, like, once you let it dry for a little bit and oxidize a little bit, you'll get that much more payoff in coverage, in color, and in longevity of wear. So I kind of just like to let that dry down on its own before I'll blend it in. So that I'm using my time wisely, I'll then go into my brow area. So this brow pencil that I'm using is a mechanical one. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, Anastasia. I'm super excited that Blushington is carrying Anastasia. This one, like I said, is really nice because it's mechanical. I tend to like more mechanical. You just get more payoff in color, more lead, more strategic. Like you don't have to fight with the pencil to get the color. What I like to do first is brush my eyebrows up just so that I'm seeing the hairs and where it's sparse. So I can pinpoint it's being sparse in this particular area, right in here or right in there, sparse in here and there. So brushing the brow up helps me to visually see where I want to fill it in. Now, I like my brows to look natural, so I'm not really, I'm sorry. I kind of like my brows to look natural. So when I'm just walking out, I don't want you to be able to detect exactly how much brow product I have in my brow. But if I'm going out, I'll probably lay it on just a little bit thicker because I like that snatched kind of look when I want the snatched kind of look. However, on a just everyday average, I'm just gonna fill in the sparseness of the brow. That's it. So I go strategically into where I see the brow is sparse at, and I stroke up in that area and in throughout the hair. And then what I do after I've laid down a good bit of product, then I'll brush just so that there's no line of demarcation, so that you can't see maybe where I've put product down, so that it looks more filled in. There's a spoolie on this. This is a spoolie. This is the end of your brush that looks like a mascara wand. That's what it's for. Anytime you're like, well, what is that end for? It's to make sure that you get that product in a way that'll help it to look natural. And then can you see the difference from brow to brow with just that little bit of stroking with the pencil? Like it's not night and day, but it's pretty safe to say that it's a different, healthier, fuller brow. And that's what we want. It's on trend right now to have a healthy, full brow. I need to brush that in. And I kind of like I'm still stuck on that trend of the kind of wolfed out, fanned out, fluffed out brow look. I'm still stuck on that. So I continue to fan out my brow. We're not talking necessarily about, like, let's say brow mapping, but in the Blushington Academy, which I didn't mention, I'm one of the instructors, and it's been like a really rewarding experience. But we talk a little bit about brow mapping, and if you're someone who like is maybe a little bit of a struggle brow, which means that your brow isn't as full as you would naturally want it to be, then we could like discuss really quickly what a brow mapping would be like, so that you're able to fill in that kind of a brow. So first of all, do you see the difference from brow to brow? Can you see the difference? And then at the same time, if you saw me in the street, would you be like, oh my God, like so much product? No, it's just fluffed up. Very nice. Me like. Okay, so brow mapping. Nostril in the crevice of the nostril, excuse me, straight up tells you where your brow should start. Now, we use the word start very sparingly. Start meaning aesthetically balanced. So that's aesthetically balanced in proportion to your face, where your brow hair should start. Using that same dimple, we cut across the pupil of the eye. And once we get across that pupil of the eye, we see where the point would be. You can do something to make sure you see that area. That's where your point would be, coming toward the lower part of the nostril, clean across the eye, tells you where your tail should end. Now, once you see and do that, you would do that on both sides before you start to fill in, then you know where you would be connecting, what you would be connecting. And then again, you brush up. And I still like to start where I'm most sparse at. And I just flick into the brow area. And then once I'm at the end, I'll flick on the bottom, just connecting my lines lightly, nothing crazy, just lightly connecting my lines, lightly brushing through to where that tail should end. And my light is bright now. So I hope you guys are seeing it the way that I'm seeing it. Just gonna go in, because when you brush in with your spoolie, sometimes you'll remove a bit of product. So you just go back in and fill in. And then I brush up. And brush in. And then I use my spoolie to get rid of those lines of demarcations that I made. Excuse me. And now we have our filled in brow. Might go through again just to make sure it's to my liking. Might look at, check, always check with the other. And remember, these are sisters, not twins. So one brow may be higher than the other. You can compensate for that if you want to. Just make sure that you're looking dead center and you're checking with one brow to the other. And you're looking at all those little intricacies and details of the brow to see where one is ending, where one point is fluctuating, where one arch may be dipping. And then you can, not spending 8 years on it, but you can tweak what you need to tweak here and there. Brushing in, brushing up, and we have a good brow. We have a brow that we can be proud of for the day, okay? Make sure that you close your product. You don't want your pencil lead to dry out. Same for your eyeliner. Make sure you keep the tops on all your products. So what I'm gonna do now is just go in with a little bit of brow gel just to keep everything in place. This brow gel in particular is Anastasia, which we carry on our website. We also carry the Brow Gal, which is another brand that I really love. Her eyebrow gel coats really nicely. And so now that that is done, can you see my concealer and how it's dried down? I just like that so much. So I go in with my beauty blender. My beauty blender has been wet and has been soaked through and wrung out, so it's nice and soft and pliable. So I'm just gonna soften up under that area. So I'm not really moving product so much. Just gonna move a little bit so that you can see in the light. And do you see how that just softened in comparison? So what I have been liking to do this season is color correcting. Another topic that we cover in depth in the at the Blushington Academy. But I like to color correct. I've been using the Stila color correcting palette. Super cool. Just want to make sure you guys can see the background of it. I know it can look a little bit washed out. This is I want to say a quad, but it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this, what's really amazing about this is you can use it if you're a makeup artist for your fairer skin clients, all the way to a good 3 shades deeper than my own skin tone. So the shade range is actually phenomenal. You just use the product sparingly. A little bit actually goes a long way, something that you don't know until you start to play with it and see for yourself. So I actually like to do this after my foundation. I like to put on my concealer. Sometimes I'll wear concealer and I won't wear foundation. And I find that when I color correct, I don't have to put on foundation. It'll just help to like marry the color into my own skin tone in a really weird, phenomenal way. And I think what I'll do because I was just gonna go in with my foundation. What I'm gonna do really quickly is I'm going to go in and kind of show you what I mean by that. So for me and my skin tone, I use these 2 colors. That's the orange and the yellow. Orange just it speaks to like the amber in my skin tone. And then the yellow just speaks to the yellow in my skin tone before I highlight. So very sparingly, I can't say enough good things about this particular, I keep wanting to say quad, but this palette of color. When I learned how to use it strategically, I just hands down can't use anything else. Very softly. Now, I don't know if you're like, I notice something or don't notice anything. The biggest point of difference is that what starts to disappear for me, if you look at one eye to the other, is the divot. Like there's like, you really can't cover texture. You can't cover texture. You can't cover swelling if you have an eye that has a little bit of water on it and it's a little puffy. It's hard to cover that. But I find that I get puffy. And what the color correcting does is it tones down the puffy so you can't see the line of demarcation. That's like, it's unbelievable. Check in from one eye as I'm doing this, from one eye to the next. Do you see in here? It disappears. It's phenomenal. I love it. I love it. So I can do this and then I won't necessarily need foundation. Just run my finger over that and everything is soft and smooth. Now, am I gonna put foundation on top? Yes, because we like to look snatched and flawless. But you don't have to if you're just running out and you just wanna look really good on the run out. What I will say about concealer, and I don't know what you guys may know or not know, don't go light on your concealer. The lighter you go, the darker the under the eye looks. Now, if you color correct, then you can go lighter with your concealer because then you're highlighting and you've already color correct the darkness. If you just buy one product and it's just a light concealer, you look zombie, you look tired, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't read well. So in order to read healthy and supple, everything is soft and supple and glowing, then you need to adhere to the dark circle. Maybe your dark circle is a little green. Maybe it's a little bit purple. Understanding green and green needing a counter, which would be that orangey kind of color. If you have like maybe more of a bruised kind of under eye look, which is usually just a pool of your own blood on the underside settling into the socket of the eye, then maybe you need something that is more green. So understanding that will help you counter your dark circles or whatever hyper or hypopigmentation you may have on the skin in a way that will help it to completely disappear, so that if you go to put on foundation, it will completely look flawless and there won't be any detections. So very small amount again. Did you see that? Did you see that? Did you see how that disappeared though? But did you see it though? It's unbelievable. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can't say enough good things about it. I love. Now that I'm using this in a more strategic way. It's so interesting because you don't realize how you have these products and you could have the best products, not necessarily the most expensive, but the best products, but you don't know because you're not really sure how to use them. So definitely playing and knowing that a little bit of product goes a long way. It's not about the amount of product that you use, it's just in the way that you use it that matters. So that's a little bit of that color correction. Do you see how the line of demarcation just kind of disappeared for girl? Me love, me love. And I'm just kind of patting that in. I didn't mention what brush this is. I should have. This is the Bedellium tool set. This is our concealer brush in number 936 from Bedellium Tools. This is actually Bedellium's vegan line of brushes. So we like that. The Bamboo series. And beautiful blushing pink. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually not gonna highlight. I usually would go in right after that orange color and I would go in with the yellow just to create a really bright kind of highlighted look. But I wanna put on my foundation. I kind of want that bright highlighted look to stand out. So I'm gonna go in with my foundation first before I do that. Now, instead of using my beauty blender, I've been using a brush lately. Like I'm back to brushes. And I only use like my beauty blender for the after softening effects. So the brush that I like to use is a dense brush. This is a dense kind of kabuki brush. This is Bedellium Tools 959. Very movable though, so it's not like so stiff. Put that right on there. And I just buff it into the skin. I moved so fast. This is the Jouer. I'm also using Jouer High Coverage Cream Foundation Essential. This has hyaluronic acid in it. Don't know what hyaluronic acid is. If your skin is looking like it needs a little bit of replenishment, looking like it's a little bit dry, looking like it is starting to age and wear and tear, hyaluronic acid will plump you right up. Will fill you right on in. Get you some hyaluronic acid in addition to your serums that you're using for that treat section of the skincare, or get you some foundation that does double duty. This one does double duty. Looks very natural on the skin. You guys are gonna see. This color is cinnamon, in case you want to gauge in shade range. So, see what that looks like immediately on the skin. I just buff that in. And it's a medium to full coverage. So I kind of usually, I would start in this particular area, but I kind of want to stay away a little bit of the under eye. Not completely stay away from it, but just to let the under eye stand on all of the product that I put on there on its own. So I bring down a little bit on the foundation just so that there's no line of demarcation, no differentiation in the skin color from neck or décolleté to face. And although my light is shining very brightly on my skin, so it looks a little bit yellower, sallower in the camera, in person, it doesn't at all. So I actually will take that, clean across my lid in a pinch when I'm getting ready to go out. And it just looks really nice, really natural. So, and then that's that. I like to make sure I press the color into the skin. I don't use a lot of products, but then once I'm done, I just press that into the skin. I find that that locks it in place. Before I go on with a powder, sometimes I choose to use a powder, sometimes I won't use a powder, depending on how dry my skin may be for the day. But it still looks very glowing and very hydrated. And I let that just dry down a little bit. And then from there, I actually go into my bronzer. We're using the Multitasking Powder from Becca. If you guys don't know, Becca is going out of business. And so whatever Becca product you can find, and Becca is a powerhouse, phenomenal brand. Makeup artists are so sad that they are leaving us. If you can find some Becca products, grab them. Grab them. Highlighters in particular, grab them. This multitasking powder is little, very compact. This color I have is Warm Honey. In the summertime, it's good as an all-over powder for me. As we're going into the cooler months, I'm losing my tan a little bit. And so this works for me as a nice powder, but also a nice contour, a nice bronzing, a nice warming up of the skin. So I like to use, I'm not gonna lie, I might use this same brush that I use for my foundation. But what I'm going to use is my powder brush, because I kind of want to cover a large area with my powder. So rule of thumb, never use a brush that's bristles, it's wider than the area in which you want to cover. So because I'm going into this jawline area very sparingly, I'm going to use my big powder brush. So what this is going to do is going to help contour me and warm me up at the same time. Remember, this look is like a supernatural one. So I filled my, excuse me, y'all. I filled my brush up with product, and I'm going right into that area. Quick contour. Y'all see it? Y'all see it? Slow. Looking. So this, what that does is that gives dimension to the skin, if you notice, to the face. Gives me a little bit of curvature where this is more flat on this side. I start in this particular area. You have to be careful not to go too far down, but we're not strategically contouring. We're doing a quick look. And so I want my brush to kind of hit a larger area. I kind of want my brush to hit all of this and sweep down in the neckline. So I'm giving myself a little bit of a sculpt, but at the same time, I'm warming up a larger area of the skin. Remember, the look is natural. So this is a natural contour, natural beat, if you will. And I'm coming down along the jawline, bringing that on down. So you don't see very much line of a demarcation. Also, because I'm full figured, I have a little bit more to play with in terms of what I want to chisel and draw less attention from. If you're someone who, you would still be able to do this if you were someone with a slender skin, because you're just warming up the whole face for an everyday look. Gonna get the hairline just a bit into where the temples are. In this area that the light is shining. If you notice, the light shines brighter here, brighter here, brighter here. These are the T-zone areas, also the areas that you might highlight, maybe not in this particular area, depending on how shiny your skin naturally is, but definitely on the apples of the cheeks and the top side of the cheekbones. Just gonna tap that in. Can't get too much. Can't get enough, I mean. I'll come across the nose. I'll change up my brush to cut across the nose. This is Bdellium 785, the blending brush. Just gonna cut up in here just a little bit, not too much. Cutting here a little bit, not too much. Gonna bring that all the way up into the brow area. See how that did on one side of my nose? Do the same thing to the other side. Bringing up, straight up, not putting too much pressure on ourselves to get it completely right. We're not going to be on anyone's TV show today. Gonna go in there a little bit more, warm that up just a little bit, going into the brow, bringing down, same over here, and cutting across under here. Another thing that I like to do when I'm warming up the skin is reintroduce that color to the lid. So I'm just gonna round out. Just gonna round out on the lid. And that's basically it for our eyeshadow color. What that does is that just reintroduces the color that's on your face into the eye area so that everything is covered and highlighted and contoured. It's basically a contour kind of eye so that it's covered, but it doesn't look like I have on anything. So it gives you the effect without telling on yourself what you actually did. So what else? I was about to forget something. About to forget a couple of things, actually. So really quickly, please forgive me for dropping. What I wanted to do was I wanted to show you guys the highlighted part and portion of this look, which I do after I do that contouring and that. So the skin looks really beautiful now to me, as it is. So you don't really need to do much of anything. Maybe put on a lipstick, maybe put on your mascara. That's basically it. But this is basically your everyday hydrated, glowing type of look. To kick it up a notch for highlight, I like to just highlight in there. Just highlight in there. No one will know. No, no one will know that you got a little bit of highlight going on the low. If you see how easily and well that blends in to that area, just sticking that right in the corners there, gently tapping to blend that color in. This color in particular from this particular palette reflects the light. So it's never like that light color that ends up looking dark under your eye. It's just super hydrating. And at the same time, it won't crease. So these, I don't know if you guys noticed, but it just gives you like a little bit, just a little bit of something extra. And then that's that. Now, what I like to do is you gotta highlight just for added measure. And I actually use my stippling brush for a highlighting brush because it's not so dense. So I'm able to sweep very lightly. So again, the places where you're putting the highlighter is where you see my light shining. It could be in this T-zone area, but depending on how oily you may get, maybe you might not want it in this particular area. But I definitely like my cheeks to look highlighted, and the tip of my nose, and right in here in the bridge of my nose. So not too much product. Oh, my highlighter, I'm sorry. My highlighter is Moonstone from Becca. Pressed powder Moonstone from Becca. Gotta be gentle with it. I want you guys to be able to see the difference without being crazy. So I'm just gonna smile and look on the side. And did you see that? And that's my highlight. You can see from one side to one side. Do the same thing on the other side, however. Smiling. And I personally like to hit my cheeks because I'm not using blush. If I was using blush, I probably wouldn't come so far down on the apples of my cheeks. But because I'm not using blush and this is like a more natural kind of look, I'll come down onto the apples of my cheeks and just swipe up. What I like to also do, same thing I did with my bronzer, I like to go across the lid, right there. Across the lid, right there. Now, for added measure, before I put on my lipstick, I'm just gonna go back with my D Hydra Mist, my Moisture Mist, and torrentially downpour the skin. Just replenishes, hydrates, and helps the skin to look natural. After you've done that whole makeup routine, you definitely don't want your skin to look cakey or heavy. And this just ensures that everything that you put on your skin will lock in and meld together. Going with my beauty blender after, I use the back part of it because the top part already has product on it. I just gently press that into my skin. Gently press that into my skin. And then I let it dry. I don't know, because I don't want the light to be shining, taken away from my shine. But do you see that? Do you see that highlight, guys? Do you see that highlight? So this is my everyday routine for you guys. I said I would kick it up a notch and do a lip color. And the lip color that I have chosen is Rubino from Stila Stay All Day Wear. It's a liquid lacquer paint, doe foot applicator. Once it dries down, it goes nowhere. So if you have to put your mask on, you do not have to worry. It will stay where it is put, and when you take your mask off, your lips will still be juicy and delicious and delectable, like we like them. My lip pencil, you must always use a lip pencil. What it does is it keeps the color on all day. It creates a barrier for your lip color to stay on and hug to and cling to, like a primer, and then it helps to shape the lip. I find that as I've gotten older, my lip line has changed for whatever reason, and I'm not feeling it, but I can recorrect that. So I never wear lipstick now without a lip liner. I like to start on the sides there. I also overline because most of, like the eyebrow, one side of your lip does one thing, the other side of the lip does another thing. So you can counter that with the lip line. This side of my lip in general is fuller than this side, so I tend to come a little bit further down with my lip liner on this side. For the Cupid's bow, I like a very sharp Cupid's bow, so I do an X. X marks the spot. Now that I'm all marked up and mapped out, I just connect the dots. So from one side to the next, connecting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you get your makeup done and have an artist come to your home and it's time for the lip portion of the appointment, don't talk, don't move, don't do funny things with your lips. Just relax and sit still. For the top part, I start further in and then I build the lip line coming across like this. You can overline your lips as much as you want. Just make sure the lip line comes from inside the lip and not outside. It's a big difference. Unless that's the look you're going for, which that can definitely be the look you're going for and executed very well. I don't know if I mentioned this is Julie Hewitt with lip liner in color Flame. No, Rubus. So I personally like to fill in my whole lip with the lip liner. It just makes the color look that much more stronger. Quick fact, did you guys know that you could have a drink with just lip liner and your lip liner will not go or anywhere? That could be a lip color for the day. It won't budge. Sometimes for clients that don't want any lip pigment or they want to add their color later, I just line them up. Keeps it on all day. So I'm double checking with my Cupid's bow. Make sure everything's to my liking. Double check with you guys. And now I'm gonna go on with Rubino. Still, let's stay all day, honey. Look at that. Do you see that pigment? Load up your bottom lip. Just press lightly with the top. Now you don't have to put so much product on the top. Beautiful fall color. I like red because it just makes your teeth look whiter. Get that off my teeth. And then this color in particular, Rubino, is just very brick, a very brick red. After, I'm just going the eyeliner and retouching the line so that it's nice and crispy. Just in case, I fudged it up a little bit with the lipstick. That's the look, you guys. So very hydrating looking, very natural looking. I feel like it's very natural looking, very soft. And then the lipstick just kicks it up a notch. Things that you could do to kick this look up a notch even more is if you wanted to add lashes, just lashes, you could. And then now you have like a nice open eye look that's great for daytime to nighttime. But just for your everyday look, this was my routine. Put my glasses on, that's like my all-purpose, on-purpose accessory, and I'm good to go. So I hope you guys liked it. It's 8:11. I'm so happy that you stuck by my side through that, and I am super interested in like questions or, I don't know, anything you guys might have for me. I had a lot of fun with this.
Perfect. Thank you, Keyerra. You look absolutely glowing, as I knew you would.
Thank you.
We got to connect extensively beforehand about the product, so it's always so exciting to actually see it come to life. We're just going to play a very brief 3-minute video on the Blushington Academy program. Again, they are today's sponsor. If you are interested in pursuing a career in artistry, if you know of somebody who is interested, it's for aspiring makeup artists. It is for new or experienced makeup artists. After the video plays, we're going to come back. We're going to drop the discount code in the chat so you can do a little bit of savings on every single product that Keyerra used here today. And we'll also address Q&A. So we've already gotten a couple good questions that DM'd here to the Blushington account. Please feel free to also ask them publicly in the chat. We'll collect the rest of them. And then Keyerra, if you just want to stay on another 5 minutes, we'll go through them.
Absolutely.
So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
In just 25 hours at the Blushington Academy, you'll be ready to increase your earning potential and become your own beauty boss. Blushington Academy is valuable to self-taught makeup artists and for those that went to school and graduated. Blushington is an incredible place to advance your career.
The Blushington Academy is giving you all the industry secrets, tips, tricks that they know, and they are giving that to you in that 25-hour course. That's priceless.
What surprised me as a new makeup artist was all of the work that went on behind the scenes. The skills I learned at Blushington Academy would have come in handy 10 years ago when I first started my career.
Along with the Blushington Academy, you get your own Blushington kit. The kit is curated by their artists, so you get this amazing kit that you are going to use on every single client Realistically, what you pay for the course, you're getting in the kit.
When I first saw the kit, I was like, wow.
It's rare to find a makeup academy that provides such luxurious products.
So to turn up our look, let's grab our eyeshadow palettes and look at the color choices that we have. I love this palette. The colors are so vibrant and so beautiful.
You are so overwhelmed with where do I start? Where do I begin? How do I get my name out there? Blushington is behind you and they are gonna help you do that. You are a featured certified artist on their website. So if you're in Kansas City, Missouri, people can book you, brides can book you. Having a huge company like Blushington behind you, that is something that when you go to another school, you don't get.
Having a shop-in-shop at Blushington is going to be such a game changer. I'm always recommending wonderful products to my clients, and it's going to be so nice to be able to help them purchase products that I stand behind, and it's going to be nice for me because I'll be able to make a little extra income.
You educate your clients, you use the products on them, and they have an option to buy directly from you, from Blushington, so that way that's commission in your pocket. Why did no one else think of this? It's amazing.
Loneliness of the career can really get to you because you're essentially an entrepreneur building a one-person business. But with Blushington, I could create community and rely on them for encouragement and for business matters. I honestly feel that this course is an amazing value.
You'll have a lifetime access to a new group of makeup artists, so you'll always have someone in your corner supporting you and there to answer any questions that you may come across in your career. There are so many things that we have to learn the hard way, especially as freelance artists. Blushington Academy takes away some of the pains of growing.
If you are just starting or if you've been doing it for years like I have, you can never stop learning. If you are getting ready to sign up for the academy, just know it is just the beginning of your career.
Thank you, everyone. We did get a couple more questions personally DM'd here. So Keyerra, I'll just start going down my list.
Okay.
So the very first one that somebody asked was, do you do all of those steps every day? And I'm assuming this is in reference to the skincare aspect. Should I do the progressive peel every day, or is my skin in danger?
No, the progressive peel, the product in the progressive peel, the main ingredient is a tetrafoliant. Tetrafoliant, I guess super wordy maybe, but what it means is just a very microscopic enzyme of exfoliant, doctor grade. So it's super gentle on your skin. You can be someone with eczema. You can be someone who has rosacea. You can be super dry or super oily. And it's super, super soft and refined. You don't even feel the granules. There is no granules. It's an enzyme. So it's safe to use daily. And honestly, you're only going to see the results if you use it daily. Only thing that I would say is just make sure that you are hydrating your skin, which you should be doing anyway. It doesn't dry your skin out. I just think that follow up with some hydration, and then that's a non-concern for you in terms of, is it okay to do that every day? Yes, this is literally my daily steps. Now, I have been wearing makeup every day. I haven't been wearing foundation per se every day. That's why I was showing you guys how I highlight the eye before I put the foundation. When it's time to go out at night, the foundation goes on. The highlighter goes on, the lipstick goes on. So all of those steps after I color corrected my eye in terms of makeup, all of those steps that happen after are maybe my nighttime steps. My skincare regimen and my concealing regimen and my brow regimen, these are actually what I do daily. And it's faster when you're not explaining it, obviously. It's like boom, boom, boom. So yes.
Perfect.
Thank you for asking.
Next question we had was, what does brow gel do? Can I leave it in overnight or should I wash it out?
you should wash it out. You don't want anything clogging your follicles. You don't want anything clogging your hair follicle. You don't want anything clogging your pores. Not to say that it's a pore clogging agent, but anything that you put on your skin in the daytime should be washed away at nighttime. Your skin should at nighttime be able to recoup from your day of wear. So the only thing that should be still on your face topically while you're sleeping is your moisturizer, is your toner, is your skincare products, your treatment on your skin. Makeup shouldn't be, you should never sleep with your makeup. And that's, an eyebrow gel would be considered makeup. It would be considered something that's going to cover and get into the pore, possibly, if you keep it and disrupt the hair follicle. So no, definitely wash your face and don't leave your eyebrow gel. What eyebrow gel is to help your brow hairs stay in place. Sometimes I'll have like an unruly brow hair that just wants to like curve over no matter what. The eyebrow gel picks it up, keeps it stiff, keeps it in place. So that's the purpose of it.
Perfect. Someone asked, what are the perks of a sponge versus a brush? You said you go back and forth when it comes to application.
Yes. A sponge is, there was a time where I could have had like maybe 5 different sponges and not use a brush. Because it's so quick, you can use it, it's so versatile, you can pick your color up with it, you can pick up your moisturizer, pick it up with it, put it on very quickly. You're able to move super quickly. What I found, like, and trends change, obviously. What I found that I started doing with clients is patting the skin with the brush. And I don't know if you guys remember, when I put my foundation on with this brush, I kept like pressing. So even though I was using my beauty blender, I would then go in with a dense brush and be pressing in the product. And that was only because I knew that my product and my application in most cases needed to last to the evening time. So I would get a lot of comeback repeat clients who would say, oh my God, my makeup lasted all day. What were you doing? I really feel like it was the pressing motion of me pressing it into the skin in a way that just melded the makeup really well. You can't press as stiffly with this soft beauty blender. So what I started doing was using my beauty blender. Number one, I use it to pick up skincare products when I'm working on other people. Depending on what I'm using, I might pick up a skincare product and use it on myself with my beauty blender. But then after the whole makeup application was done, I would just like softly press. It just would give this, like, I don't know, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I do feel like the makeup just looks very seamless and natural. And I feel like the beauty blender just softens everything up in a way that like just airbrushes and diffuses it. So that's how I feel about the differences. You get a denser application of color with a brush. You get a lighter application of color with a beauty blender, if that helps.
Absolutely. Thank you, Keyerra.
No
We also did have a question come in. How do you prevent lip liner from bleeding?
So if you have a lip liner that is bleeding, it is probably not a good lip liner. I'm going to just say that because my lip liner does not bleed. I do prefer a pencil applicating. Sometimes they have mechanical lip liners. I find that those lip liners are sometimes a little bit more waxy. And so I can understand how that lip liner may slip and maybe get into a lip crevices. But in general, when you have like a pencil lead type of, this is a little bit of a thicker type of product. So it's also not so slippery. You have to sometimes even like work a little bit so that it's on. You got to press it into the skin. This kind of a lip liner tends to not bleed. So I think it's your choice in lip liners. This one again is Rubus from Julie Hewitt. If that's any help to talk about a top-notch lip liner, but I really think that it's a matter of what kind of lip liner that you're using, as opposed to the application in which that you put it on. Definitely starting from the inside of the lip, working your way outside is a way to get the lip on the line properly lined up to the spot of the lip that it needs that lining to happen. If you go too far up in the lip, you do run the risk of it feathering, because that skin and the lip skin is just completely different. So I will say that in terms of application, if you're going to overline, just be very strategic, that you're not overlining too far out, that you're changing the skin, the lip skin, the skin in which you're drawing the lip pencil on, if that makes sense.
All great tips. I've been writing everything down in my little personal notebook because I need to learn myself. So thank you everybody for all of your questions here today. I hope you all had a fabulous time. We have dropped the code into the chat. Please use the code Keyerra10. You can save 10% off product purchases. Also, one of the brands that Keyerra highlighted today was Becca. So Estee Lauder, unfortunately, is shutting them down. We do have a permanent sale category, so you can save even more on pre-markdown Becca products. Now is definitely the time to save and stock on your favorite highlighters, your pressed powders. We also do have foundations on the website as well. But Keyerra, I cannot thank you enough for your time today. This was essentially 2 courses in one with skincare and full face makeup. So
thank you guys for hanging in there. I had a lot of fun.
If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to us here at Blushington and at Blushington Academy on Instagram. You can also reach out to Keyerra at Keyerra Madeline on Instagram. Her handle was dropped here in the chat. Our virtual doors are always open. We will also be sending out a post-class email within the next 24 hours with a recording of this class and the discount code. And it will also include the full shopping cart link to every single product that Keyerra used. That way you can shop directly with her. So if you know of anybody who wanted to come here today and participate, but they weren't able to, maybe it's a little bit too late, maybe they're finishing up with work, definitely feel free to circulate that video as well. But Keyerra, I will let you have the last word. But again, we at Blushington just can't thank you enough.
Thank you again for this opportunity. Always dope to get to speak to people and be helpful. I hope I was helpful. Definitely reach out with that information in the Dropbox and shop Blushington for sure. We got a lot of dope products, and there's always help if you need it. So again, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. And again, I had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Bye.